Okay, so looking back at in the past and realizing that I tried a few businesses that hadn't worked out. So I thought, well, let's analyze it a bit and see what I did wrong or what happened that wasn't right, or I didn't set up correctly. What are the reasons that it didn't work before and it's working this time? Because I wasn't brought up in my career has been mostly in the working for other people, mostly in the corporate structure. So you don't have to make things work on your own because basically you've got the support of the company. So I thought I'd analyze it and see why it's different and what I can learn from it and what I have learned from it already without even knowing it probably. So the first thing I did a number of years ago was I imported products and physical products from China. And this was the early days. This is before Amazon FBA existed, I believe, before I knew about it. It was before my eldest was born, so it would have been 12 years ago or so. And what these were, if you think back to the Crocs shoes when they were a phase, probably that sort of time, 10 years ago or so. Like the little rubbery, plasticky slip-on shoes, beach shoes, comfortable, soft. And they have holes in the top, and you should be able to put these little decorations, characters in there, all sorts of different things, ladybirds, little animals, characters, Disney characters, all sorts of emoji kind of things, I guess you'd call them, before emojis became popular. So what we did, me and my wife, we branded it. So we got found a source for it in China, and we had to buy them by bags of 1,000, but they were dirt cheap. They were literally a few cents each. So the investment wasn't that high. We branded it, so we gave it a brand, got a brand name. We thought of a cool name called Wijjits, Wijjits. And we hand drew the logo, and so my wife did, and then got that digitized and put onto business cards, and we made a little placard up so you could go around the shops and or small businesses and say, do you want to sell these products? We're giving you, these are the costs, do the price list, all that kind of thing. So it's a good learning experience to understand about branding. Okay, Xavier, so you've got no sound. Hopefully you can hear me okay though. Shorts off. Okay. So we learned a few things there, but the biggest problem we had was distribution. Of course, now it's pretty easy because now we have Amazon and online businesses like that allow us to set up shopping carts and allow us to advertise our stuff, advertise the websites. I guess we could have set up a website in those days if I'd have known about it. But getting the distribution out, there was a problem. So we went around shops and they bought a few of these things, but really there's not enough volume there. Volume was the issue. I also went to the local market and tried to sell them there. And even then, selling these things which you could buy in the shop, in the official Crocs shop for, I don't know, $4 or $5, we were selling it for $2. And people still umming and ahhing about that. So you go there for 4 hours in the market and make $20 or something. It was yeah, not a good experience. So I guess it's not a bad experience, but it wasn't really the way to get the product out there. So that's a great, what lessons I learned. It's a great way now to realize that distribution is the key, and advertising, which is what I'm into now, right? Marketing with the SFM, the skills I've learned there. Do have sounds going through, because let's have a look. Should be okay. Yeah, okay, should be okay. All right, so that's the big lesson there. And nowadays, if I did that, of course, it'd be much easier because we've got Amazon. I could build a website. I could advertise them, and somebody else just joined. Welcome, welcome. Somebody else joined with no sound either. Okay, welcome. I'm just going through my experience of my first business, which was little decorations you put in the Crocs shoes about 10 years ago. So anyway, so I'll go into the. Anyway, if you've got any questions, Siobhan. So you pronounce your name? Sorry if I got it wrong. You can either jot them in the chat. It looks like you haven't got any audio, so you can jot them in the chat, and yeah, I'll address them as we go through. Okay, so the second one, which is the big one, was stock trading. So I was working for a company, and I was making some money on the side doing some stock trading. There's a big bull market, so the stocks are all going up. So it wasn't too hard to make money in hindsight. But I had probably 100,000 invested. I had probably 100,000 invested, and I was making one time about 80,000, 90,000 profit or gains. Yeah, so I thought, this is easy. I'll do this. So I actually handed him a notice in, and tried it full time. Now, this is one thing you learn in stock trading is if you find it easy at first, you're probably going to get killed by it, because you think it's easy and eventually it'll take your money away. And that's what happened, basically. So I went in there with high expectations, thinking, oh, this would be an easy way to make some money. And it turned out to be, yeah, because I didn't have the right skills behind me, it didn't work out. So I've identified a few of those, and I'll just go through a few of those now. So one of the things about stock trading is you need to have a system. And with any business, if you're starting out for the first time, I'm having trouble joining as well. So if you're having trouble, if you're starting a business for the first time, you need to have some kind of system behind you, some system that you know works. Otherwise, you can lose your money quickly, which is what happened to me with stock trading. It's slightly different. You know, online business, you don't have that massive investment. Well, you can do, but with online business, with the SFM, you don't need to have that. But yeah, not having a system to follow, one that you know that works, is going to be a quick way of your business not working out for you. Another one I identified was discipline. I didn't have enough discipline. I just look at the charts. I did lots of research, I guess. But what you probably notice yourself also with the internet is that the more you look for the answers you want, you're going to find them. So I wasn't really looking for I was kind of convincing myself that what I was doing was the right thing. And it worked sometimes and it didn't work other times. Eventually I lost the money. So yeah, so not having the support on there, you're having trouble there joining, aren't you? So look in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me okay. You should be able to type in the chat box in Zoom. Let me know you can hear me. Aha, you've got sound now. You should be able to unmute and talk to me if you like to. So I'll just keep going. If you want to come out and have a chat or ask me some questions, I'd be glad to talk to you. Yeah, so you need to have some kind of system. Now, another one, discipline. So I talked about discipline, wasn't I? So discipline, I didn't have a structure. I didn't have enough discipline in myself to be doing the right things at the right time. And with stock trading, you definitely need discipline because you need to be able to cut your losses short. So fail fast and fail forward, I guess you'd call it these days. I'd call it these days. But it's very easy to get trapped in believing that what you're doing is the right thing and therefore not want to cut your losses. So I didn't have any discipline, and discipline is something I've definitely improved on a hell of a lot since then. Little support. I had some support as a trading business, but it wasn't really much. I wasn't a member of. I didn't have any one-on-one coaching. I didn't have any communities that were really there supporting me. It was basically by myself, and by doing that, you're really at the mercy of yourself. So that's one thing that I realise now. If I'd have joined a few more forums, I could have had some more support and maybe directed myself better. No coaching. I was studying those who actually were doing well to see how they were doing well. I sort of tried to do it all by myself, and it didn't work out. Not enough focus on what was working because I had a few systems that were working, and they were only, I say only, but it was pretty good. I was getting 3% per month. Now, if you've got a fair investment like I had, 3% per month is okay. And obviously the compounding that, you do very well. But when you're working, excuse me, when you're working a system and it's your only source of income, then it's much harder. And I'll address that as I go through my SFM and what we do there. So living off the income and trying to make enough profit is very hard. The 3% a month is pretty good. So if I'd have kept doing that, I probably would have been okay. But I had what you would call shiny object syndrome. So I thought this way's better, this way's better. And then I kind of lost track of where I was. I was always trying these new things. And yeah, again, that's discipline, structure, having a system, all those sort of things that went wrong. And here's another really big one, was that I was impatient to make it work. Excuse me. I was impatient to make it work. So I thought it'd be easy at first, and I wanted to make it to succeed quickly. So I was always chasing that big win. I was always after the big win that would give me the success I was looking for, right? And make me feel like I was a winner. And again, it's like an easy kind of answer. You want a quick, easy win. And again, that's not really going to happen. unless you've got a lot of discipline, a lot of support, and all those things we've just been talking about. So looking back, I can see now why I struggled with the business. It did quite well, but then eventually I lasted about a year before I ran out of money and went back to working with somebody else. I didn't at the time identify those issues as reasons why it didn't work. I didn't really look back at it and analyze it and say, well, I could have done better if I'd have done this, and I need to do this. It's only now that I've seen the other side of it, I can identify them and realize how much better I could have done if I'd have done the things I'm about to talk to you about. So I didn't then go looking for something else. I just went back to the corporate world for a few years. But I wasn't happy. It's just obviously something inside me wanted to be more free. And that's when I stumbled across SFM 3 years ago. I was getting pretty upset about my situation, where I was, the income I was having, supporting the kids, supporting the family. And I guess what it really comes down to is just not doing what you want, not doing what you love doing. And if all the time you're doing that, I've only really understood that in the last few weeks, when, for the last 5 years I've been working for a company, and it started off pretty good, but I realise now I've given it up, how much energy that was sapping out of me, taking away from me, because I just wasn't doing what I really loved doing. And if you do something you love doing, life's just a whole lot better. I'm not going to pretend that do what you want and everything's going to fall in place. I'm not going to say that doing what you want means you can do without any money. Of course, that's not true. But if you're earning an income and you're doing what you love doing, it's amazing how much more energy you've got. So that's one thing, obviously, that, well, there's a few reasons why I was looking for something 3 years ago. But I wasn't really looking, I just knew I needed something. I knew I needed a solution. And then in SFM, just an advert just popped up, and here I am now. So, quick drink. Okay. So what do I have at SFM that's allowed me to succeed? So let's go back to the system. I mentioned before about not having a system with my stock trading. Having a proven system helps a lot, because two things. Firstly, it gives you like a blueprint of what you want to try and model, and what kind of things you're looking for and where you want to go, and it gives you an idea that this is the system that will work. It's worked many times before. If it doesn't work for me, then it's because I'm not doing it right, I'm not trying hard enough, don't have the right skills, whatever it might be. But it has been proven to work, so it should work, right? Or it does work. It should work for me. So proven system is really, really important. In SFM, there's a few systems. There's quite a few different systems you can use. SFM, of course, is a marketing education company, but you can be marketing on different platforms. You can be marketing different products. You can be selling physical products. You can be selling services online. There's many different aspects to it, and they're all covered at SFM. So having a proven system is very important. It's also important for belief, because if you don't have a proven system, it's very easy to have a proven system. It's very easy to give up too early, because you're thinking, well, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe this is all just fluff. Maybe it's a scam. Whatever those thoughts might be. But having a proven system that works, has worked for other people, gives you extra belief, knowing that yes, you can do it. If you can learn those skills, if you can put the effort in, then you'll succeed as well. So having a proven system is so important. Now, one thing I didn't have before was the training I needed, right? So training, a training SFM is just phenomenal. There's so much stuff there. Before I could have found some training, I did find some training. I could read lots of books, that kind of thing. That gives you some good ideas. But the problem with that, it's a bit like the internet now. There's so much stuff out there. How do you know what works? How do you know what doesn't? Right, so we came back to proven system again, which I just discussed, but having the right training to back up your proven system is really important, because that way you know that you're learning all the skills that you need to learn. And the training SFM it was pretty good 3 years ago, and it's just amazing now. There's the new stuff that's come out even the last 6 months. It's just amazing. So having the right training behind you is really important, and the right sort of training. So the next one I want to talk about is mindset. I have to sip tea first. Okay, mindset. When I started this journey 3 years ago, I didn't give it a second thought. I wanted technical, give me a solution, make it work, we'll do it. I didn't understand the importance of mindset. But one thing that SFM is really good at, especially when you join up, you go through module 2 of the getting started modules, that is all about mindset, about what your ideal day is, about what you believe, about books to read to improve your mindset, to give you that belief. Because without the right mindset, you're not going to win. Without the right mindset, you're not going to succeed, because you'll give up too early, you'll make excuses. There's a million different reasons, right? I'm not going into that, but yes, having the right mindset is really, really important, and it's something that doesn't seem important at first. Like I said, it wasn't for me, and it isn't for most people. But you soon realise that the power of it, and somebody with the right mindset will succeed no matter what. No matter what happens to them, they won't give up, because if they believe they can do it, then you'll find a way. Right, all the answers are there. You don't need to join SFM to succeed in small business or online business. You can search all up on the internet. You'll find all the answers there. But like I said, you'll have to find out which are the right answers, which are the rabbit holes you'll go down, which will waste your time. But having the right mindset and getting stuck into it means that you'll succeed. You will succeed anyway, and you'll succeed faster than those that have the wrong mindset, that don't have the belief. So mindset is a really important part of it, and I've really enjoyed that part of the journey. I've changed so much in myself as a person, also as a entrepreneur, as a business person as well, in the last few years. So it's really something that I love. And you find that most people that do join SFM, they either join because they resonate with the message, and they resonate with the sort of the integrity, the values, if you like, of the company. And that's one of the reasons why I joined. So some people join because of that, just because it just feels right. Other people will join because they want to learn the skills, but then they grow into the mindset part of it. So, and everyone seems to, everyone always, I've heard so many stories of people who reflect on their journey and how much they've changed in their mindset. And that's made them the person they are. And that's, the whole journey was worth it just for that alone, without even talking about business. So anyway, I'll leave that alone. That's mindset. If you've got any questions, just type in the chat. If you can't, if you don't want to talk, otherwise unmute and fire away. I've got a few more points I'd like to get through about this, why I succeeded, and what the difference here is at SFM to my past experiences. Next one to look at is coaches and the community. So having people that have been down the same journey as we're going down is huge. Obviously, it's only their perspective. Everyone has their perspective. My perspective will not necessarily be the right one for you, but it's going to be a lot better than somebody who's never done it before and hasn't got a clue what they're talking about, right? So having coaches and mentors, you get different people's perspectives. Some people you resonate with go, oh, yeah, that sounds good. That makes sense. I'm going to try that. And you learn all these skills and approaches from people who have built their business from zero to whatever they've got now. All the coaches obviously have successful businesses behind them, which is why they're there. And you can learn so much from that. And having that makes a huge difference. It's one thing that I didn't have. I had a little bit of, but very little in my stock trading business. So the coaches are very important, but also the community as well, because it sounds a bit fluffy, community, but it really is important. When you come across problems that you can't solve, and you need to look at all the resources that you have at your fingertips, right? And one of them will be search it up on Google, on YouTube, or whatever, to try and find the answer you're looking for. But sometimes that information just isn't there, because it'll be like a little nuance or a little special, little bit of skill to do with one of the marketing platforms you're using, for instance. So what you can do, you can just type into the community Facebook groups. It's Facebook at the moment. It will soon go towards mentors, I believe. And when you type that in and ask for help, there's so many people now that will be able to help, because they've obviously either hit that problem before, or they've watched a bit of training that had given them the answer. And they know enough to either answer your question or to send you off in the right direction to find the answer you're looking for. And the community now is really huge at SFM. There's thousands of people who have joined, and yeah, that is a very good resource to have available. And also, community is also there to not only answer technical, but also to give you encouragement, to give you feedback, that kind of thing as well. So that's the important part of it. Mentors. Having mentors to guide you. A bit like a coach, but a coach, there's a subtle difference between coaches and mentors. Having mentors as well is also very important, because they can give you some great guidance. And it's funny that if you get advice from, well, if you want a successful business and you've got the right mindset for it, if you ask a coach or a mentor for advice and they give you some guidance and suggest books to read or suggest things to go and do, give you some homework if you like, then you're much more likely to do it from those guys than if you read something on the internet or whatever, or read a book. Because it's that one-on-one approach, right? It's the advice you get from somebody who's kind of someone you respect, I guess, and you're much more likely to take the action that you need to take by getting advice from these guys and girls. Good. Any questions? We'll have a quick sip. Okay. Or comments, actually questions, comments. Now, power of service to others. This is something I've never considered before, but it is something that's key to a successful business and being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means solving problems. Somebody who solves problems. So being of service to others is the key. It's what, especially in the online world, in society the way it is these days, the more you can help people provide a solution to a problem they have, then the more successful you'll be. So providing service to people is very powerful, and that's something we focus on a lot at SFM. That is what, I wouldn't say everybody, but as far as I know, everybody's business is built around providing a service, whether you're providing a physical product through Amazon, FBA, or whatever other means it might be. You're providing a solution to a problem that they have. They want a gadget, they want whatever there might be, product of some kind. You're providing the solution to that. But also offering service is good, because you're if you're sending out emails like I do, or you have a website with blogs on it, or maybe just a website with information on it, it's all helping other people, right? We're trying to make the world a better place. Use that word trying again. We are making the world a better place by doing this. So power service to others is really important. And it's something we focus on a lot here at SFM. And then we have a few things like, along the same lines, is sharing. The more information, the more perspective, the more sharing we can do with people to help them, the more they're going to get out of it, right? The more they're going to resonate with your message, and yeah, so that's by the more you share. This actually ties in my final point, which is one thing we learn at SFM is learn, do, teach. Learn something new, take action on it, and then teach it to somebody else. And that's something we should be doing on a daily basis. And by sharing that with other people, you're providing a service to them, but you're helping them, because they might learn something new. And it's funny that as you learn more stuff, more skills, you automatically think that, well, other people might not be interested, it's just something for me, but you'll be surprised at how many people are interested. So I send my emails out to educate people on something I've learned, or something I've become aware of, or something I'm doing. And of course, not everybody's going to go, oh, that's a great idea, but you've only got to touch a few people and give them the key message they've been waiting for to potentially change their lives. It's only like a light bulb moment. All I've got to do is get one person to have a light bulb moment over something, and then it's good, because I've helped that person. And that's what we're doing. So learn, do, teach is a good way of sharing with others, and when we learn new things, helping spread the word, if you like, spread the realization, and hopefully give a few people an epiphany and go, wow, that's really, really good. I love that. And I get a few emails come back with comments on that, and that's what it's all about. That's why I do it. Trying to help people. And why am I so keen to help people? Because I wouldn't be here where I am now if I hadn't been helped by others. Right? We've got people who have been in this community for just only 6 months, and they're making a success. And one of the reasons they're making a success is because they are so keen to help other people. It's just the way the universe works, right? The more you help others, then the more you'll be helped as well. So I will help others best I can as well. So that kind of finishes what I wanted to talk about. So it just reflecting is good. And if I'd have looked, before I joined SFM, if I'd have looked back at my Wijjits business and my stock trading business, and trying to work out why I hadn't succeeded, why I hadn't, made a huge, a good growing business out of it, a successful business. If I looked at it, I probably wouldn't have recognized half the things, even if that, of what what went wrong and what I did wrong. But now I've gone down the right approach for joining SFM. I can clearly see what I did wrong and why it didn't work out for me, and why it's working out now. So it's one of those things. I'm sure there's other companies around that do well. I was lucky enough to fall into SFM first time. I've heard of people joining SFM who said they've tried other things and they're just rubbish because you didn't get support, didn't get the training, all that kind of stuff you've just been through. So I'm not saying SFM is the one and only thing, but it's certainly, if you resonate with the message, then yeah, it's all here. And I can see now, looking back, why I didn't succeed at past things. So what could I learn from it? One thing SFM has taught me is taught me that I can do anything. All right. I'm learning marketing now, so I have the marketing skills. But I can turn that to anything, and I could even go back to stock trading, and I could make it work. And I believe I can, because I now have the missing pieces why it didn't work last time. So anyway, I hope you found that kind of useful, and maybe it'll give you a chance to reflect on your past life and things that you've done which haven't worked out, and maybe it'll give you a chance just to sit back and reflect on why it didn't work out. And yeah, hopefully that gives you some ideas of what I've been through and why I feel much more confident now and within SFM to succeed in this and pretty much any other business. Doesn't mean I'm getting cocky or anything, but it just means I have that belief and I know where to look to find the answers. That's really what it's all about, right? It's all there in this internet age. It's just a matter of knowing where to find it and not thinking you can do it all yourself. That's one thing I did. I thought I could do it all myself. Yeah, and it didn't work out. But now I've got the backing behind me with SFM, then it's that's why it'll work. Okay, so anybody have any questions or comments on what I've been talking about? You can either type in the chat or you can just unmute and say hello. No? Okay. All right. It's yeah, it's still early morning for me. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Thank you for listening to me. Hope you found some value in it. If you want to join SFM, then there's always links at the bottom of my emails that come through to you. So welcome. Good to welcome you aboard. Any questions you have, you can just reply to my emails, and I'll get back to you. Any questions, any comments? It'd be good to hear from you. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.